go. That's the main thing. What you don't want when you're doing research is to have the researcher telling you what the insights are. Yeah, you don't want anybody having. I mean, I don't work in the industries you mentioned, the cosmetics, or I don't work in the banking industry, for example. So I wouldn't tell a bank or a cosmetics company that's what you should do, because I'm not the expert here. What you want is to put the company, who are an expert in their industry, together with potential clients so they can connect directly. And so the company can turn around and listen to what these clients are saying, whether it's B2C or whether it's B2B. Listen to the stories that they're telling, not filling out questionnaires, but this is the story that I have. These are the experiences. That's what's positive. That's what's negative. And then the company will, when they're seeing that will trigger an insight in the company. Somebody in the company say, the salesperson say, well, we could be doing this. Or operations say, well, we could be doing that. And what you're doing is you're just adding in this very simple piece of work. Because I said, if you're doing B2C and you just want to have a look, you can maybe go and speak to 15 or 20 people. And it maybe takes about 10 or 15 minutes each to interview those people. And it's not so much an interview, it's a couple of the same questions and everybody gives their response to the same questions. You put it together in a 30, 45-minute video and it goes to the client. And then the clients are then directly in touch with their potential users. And as I said, 85% of the competitors they will have on this market are not doing that. So even if you're sitting there in Brazil, you have a better insight into the customers than the people who are sitting here, because they're not talking to customers or focusing on their needs as much as they should. What this gives you is a quick and easy way of just plugging into your considerations about where you should go, the voice of the customer, the face of the customer, and to understand, wow, this is who they are. This is what, do we want to work with these people? Could we work with these people? Do we have something that they would be interested in? But as you said, the key thing is it's an insight, and an insight is a sudden shift to a better story. Suddenly we see something that we hadn't seen before, and we can exploit that opportunity. I think on our course, Ruth, I don't know whether you remember it, but I gave the example once of a company that had seen, they were a pharmaceutical company, and they'd seen a picture on an Instagram picture on the account where somebody had been using their product, but then was wrapping their leg. They'd used it on their leg and they wrapped their leg in cellophane, like plastic covering. And so they just asked, well, why are you doing that? And the person said, love your product. I don't know can't remember what product it was, but product's fantastic. Does everything it says it should do, but it stains this fabric that my trousers are made of. And the company had never heard of that. They'd never tested for that. They didn't know that was actually happening. And it was just a random one photograph on Instagram, and they followed it up. Which is why I say it's not about having big data. It's about having thick data that you turn into action, that you do something about. And when they asked this person, they found that, well, then they tried to replicate it in their lab. They found that this person was correct. And so they completely changed the product and they relaunched it as a better product. And that all came from just one story from one customer once. So if you get 12 or 15 stories or 12 or 15 customers sharing 2 or 3 stories each, you've actually got a rich amount of data that you can start to understand, can we do something for these people? And that's the kind of data you want to add together with your macro and micro data. You don't just want to look at spreadsheets, because you're not selling spreadsheets. You're selling whatever your product is to end users. And I think that's what you really want to be doing when you're looking at a new market, and if you do that in every country you go to, that then becomes, well, a better way of deciding which country is right for you. Because that first one says, okay, maybe you then do a second phase. We spoke to 12 or 15 people. Now we want to send some of our products over there. And we want to have perhaps a day where we have 40 or 50 people testing our products and playing with our products. And then what we'll do is we'll interview them on that day. So even without needing to go to the country, you could have really rich feedback from a group of people who've used your products and tell you what they think and feel about them as well. Again, not without a questionnaire, but in their own words, whether they feel, yes, people would like that here, or this isn't the right kind of thing for us here, or this would be better if you could do that. It's that kind of information that should draw you into a country. And I think a lot of businesses, they have all the macro data, but it's that final step which is the hardest to make. Why should we go there? And they think of all the risks. But once you can see your customers and hear your customers, that tells you yes or no. Can we do something here? So yeah, I would always add that to any kind of organization that's thinking of going to another country. If you don't do it, you turn up and you assume that people in this country are going to like the things that you do, and they may not. And that's going to be the biggest risk that you face. So yeah, it's quick and easy, and I think it's very rich in terms of the data that it gives you. But the main thing is that it could trigger some insights, trigger something that you haven't thought about before. And if you say, we can do something about that, that's what tells you this is the right market for you.